Calls from the Denver Police Department that they were getting calls about shots fired and people hit at Red Rocks soon after a concert ended tonight. Three gunshot victims, were contacted by Denver police at 6th and Calumet in Denver. We have a search for a shooter right now. Don't have a lot of information on him. Everything's very sketchy at this point as we try to put all this together.
Our Spot News segment today, we look at what's happening right near the Rocky Mountains. Red Rocks Amphitheatre. Been there many times when I had a great opportunity to live in Colorado. Wonderful place to see a concert. But unfortunately, last night it was rocked with a triple shooting that was following a concert at Red Rocks. We're still getting information in, so now let's go ahead and update this story for you. We go to Dan Lewis at KOA Radio in Denver. Nobody covers the Rockies like KOA. Dan, thanks for joining us today.
Not a problem at all. How are you doing today?
Excellent, Dan. Thank you very much. Bring us up to speed. Last time we heard that the cops were basically still saying they're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah, we still have local deputies on the scene there at Red Rocks. They're still looking for evidence, trying to put all the pieces together. Right now, what we know, we have 3 people recovering from non-life-threatening injuries at a hospital. They were inside an SUV when somebody opened fire on that SUV. And when that happened, the SUV took off, and heard in the bite you were playing talking about 6th and Calumet. Well, Denver police found the SUV with the victims there at 6th and Calumet shortly thereafter, took them to the hospital. Then back at Red Rocks, we had people there until very early hours this morning, until around 3 o'clock our time this morning, with deputies having a checkpoint at one of the exits. They weren't letting anybody in, and unless you went through that checkpoint, you weren't getting out. And it delayed people a lot, and a lot of people weren't too happy about it.
Is it not fair to say, though, Red Rocks is not the place where you usually see things like this? The times that I've been there, most of the concerts are very quiet, and it is certainly the type of concert-going crowd that doesn't usually look for trouble. This is something that kind of stunned me a little bit.
Very stunning, baffling. It's usually a very peaceful, happy crowd up there. Everyone's going up to have a good time. It's one of the last places you would ever expect somebody to open fire.
How heightened is alerts and security with the police in Colorado now? Certainly, here we have a gun crime, and we still have to put it in here. We have another shooting. We have a triple shooting this time. How aware are the Colorado police officials right now with aware to a lot of guns and the security that they take to keep people safe in large venues like this?
I can't speak for anything that local law enforcement is doing. What I do know is this is a very rare situation, which means they're doing their job extremely well. And I know they are aware of violence that happens in this city like it does in any other city, and they are working really hard to curb gun violence and all violent crimes.
Is there any, and again, you certainly cover the news out there and you've seen it, is there any greater security, or have the police talked about greater security at events like this, certainly with a lot of the heightened issues that are happening around the country?
I don't know if they're really talking about it. Whether they are putting more security at these events or not, I really don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, being that, we are usually so safe when we go out to our concerts or our sporting events around here. It's a very rare occasion for something like this to happen.
So we can help the folks out there. A couple of seconds we have left. Is there anything else the police are asking for, people who might have been there?
They're not. They spent the overnight hours interviewing witnesses as they got out, and now they're just searching for a suspect and a motive. And
that's what they will do, and they will find out what's going on out there. Hey, Dan Lewis from KOA Radio, thanks a lot for bringing us up to speed, my friend.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You also. It is very difficult out there. It's not something that you would expect. Let's move on. One young woman, one city bus in Montgomery, Alabama, one bus seat and one instance that changed this nation forever. You know the story. Now you'll learn more. That's the focus of this American Moment.
Her name is synonymous with the struggle for equal rights throughout America. But when Rosa Parks stepped on that Montgomery, Alabama bus on December 1st, 1955, she didn't set out to make history. She just wanted to get home. Montgomery's segregated buses had divided seating, white passengers in front, colored passengers in the back. Contrary to popular belief, Rosa was sitting in the back of the bus. But when the bus driver needed more seats for his white passengers, he ordered her and 3 others to vacate their seats. The others complied and moved, but Rosa quietly refused and was quickly arrested. Working alongside Dr. Martin Luther King, Rosa's arrest sparked a highly effective citywide protest with African Americans boycotting city buses.
December 5th was the day that people stayed off in large numbers and did not ride the bus. In fact, most of the buses I think all of them were just about empty.
Rose's protest and resulting boycott didn't end segregation, but it sparked a movement that ended the racial system, paving the way for a more equal society. You're watching An American Moment on Newsmax TV.